Again, thanks for watching, downloading, and listening to Picture Lock, where we focus on film. A large part of what I want for the show is to give exposure to local and independent filmmakers. My next guest has that same vision and has been doing that with the Alexandria Film Festival in Alexandria, Virginia since its inception 7 years ago. The 2013 Alexandria Film Festival starts this week on Thursday, November 7th and runs through the 10th. Chair of the Alexandria Film Festival, Patti North. I'm sure things are super busy for you right now, but thank you for making time to come on the show, and welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me, Kevin.
My pleasure. So usually I like to start at the beginning. When did you fall in love with film?
Oh gosh, when I was a kid. I grew up in Vermont, and we didn't have a lot of theaters, but I was walking distance from one for a while, and in a way I feel like I have to thank my sister, because my older sister and my younger brother and I would all go to the Saturday matinee, and when my younger brother would start fussing, she would take him home, and I'd just stay there and watch all the rest of the features. So the kids part wasn't good enough for me. I wanted to see all the grown-up stuff too.
That's pretty awesome. I love just talking to people and finding out when they fell in love. I mean, everybody has such a unique story, but it's always a memorable one. Like, you remember when it kind of happened. Okay, so the Alexandria Film Festival started 7 years ago, and you had a part to doing that. Could you talk a little bit about that?
Sure. I was on the Alexandria Commission for the Arts at that time. I'm a glass artist as well. And
like blow up glass?
Fused glass. Like, I made this piece here.
Nice.
Give myself a little plug.
Go ahead, do it.
But it started to trouble me that we were promoting really the same art that we would have been promoting if we had existed during the Renaissance. You know, we had sculpture and painting, and we had performance and dance and music. And all this digital art was happening all around us. There were really internationally known filmmakers right in Alexandria, and still are, and even more in the general metro area. So I really wanted to put digital art on the radar. And there was also, at the time, the city had an interest in doing an event that had sort of an international flavor. Alexandria is very multicultural. So it led to the establishment of the Alexandria Film Festival.
Okay,
wow. And I stayed involved with it after that. I was a program director for quite a long time, and just last year became the chair.
Well, congratulations on that. That's definitely huge. All right.
Well, huge for an entirely volunteer-run organization.
Right, true. So I guess we could hit that. I'm going to go a little bit out of order, but what exactly do you do as the chair? Could you take us through a typical day, pre-festival, and then during the festival?
Well, it varies a lot, because we have, throughout the year, we have film events, largely at Beatley Library, but other places too. But it really gets intense during the summer when we are judging films. This year, well over 200 filmmakers submitted films to us. We have to, of course, screen all those films in order to decide which ones to accept. And that's a really fun but also painful process, because there's some great films that we just don't have the space to screen. And then it's really a kind of a chaos of, you know, trying to promote it and market it, and, you know, getting the material in and scheduling speaker events, and you know, raising money. It's a big part of it, whether we, you know, like it or not. And actually, I do kind of like it, because a film is a collaborative enterprise, but so is a film festival.
Right.
And, you know, you need filmmakers, you need films, you need an audience, you need very good corporate citizens that want to continue to make rich cultural events available to Alexandria and want to play a part in that and want to be known for playing a part in it.
Right, right. Yeah, I've lived in Alexandria for the past 4 years or so, and I myself, unfortunately, don't shoot me, I just found out about the festival, but I thought this is amazing, because Alexandria, as you said, does have some great local filmmakers. So since its inception, AFF has grown from 21 films, 40 films last year from 18 countries. So what does that mean for the festival's mission? because obviously you all have a mission too.
Yes, we do have a mission, and it's sort of two or threefold, if I could remember it exactly. But we want to make Alexandria a place that's known for both having filmmakers and welcoming film as an art form. And we want it to be something that is engaging with the Alexandria audience. If you live in Alexandria, you yourself are an example of this, but Alexandrians are, by Amazon's determination, the most well-read community in the country.
If I do say so myself.
You do say so yourself. That doesn't mean there isn't a place for television and
Right.
webcasting, but and it's a very educated public. So our audience is very sophisticated, and there's a lot of film that plays well here. Another thing not many people know is that theaters, the commercial theaters, and we love them, can only show really a tiny fraction of the films that are made.
Right.
There are very, Steven Spielberg was once making short films with a Super 8. Filmmakers have to start somewhere, and a lot of the times they'll make shorts, which are sort of their calling card. We've had several filmmakers that have gone on from shorts to feature films, and in part driven somewhat by success that they've had with us. So it's really an exciting medium, and there's so much to offer, and so much that you will only see at a film festival, and for the folks around here, you'll only see it at the Alexandria Film Festival.
Right. All right. So on a personal note, as you said, this is volunteer. What does the film festival mean to you? Because obviously you have to have a passion for it to chair it.
Well, as I said, I've always loved film and I love art, and this brings both of those together. It's really exciting to see the connections that people make with filmmakers and with the sponsors and with the city VIPs, the mayor and the vice mayor. In fact, our vice mayor, Alison Silverberg, she was on the film selection committee the very first year that we had the film festival in 2007, and now she's vice mayor. So you just never know, where things will go.
Right.
It's also really exciting to see these filmmakers kind of in the nascent stage of their careers. The very first film festival in 2007, the winner of the Grand Jury Award that year for a wonderful film called War Dance, won the Oscar this year.
Right.
Yes.
Wow.
They were our Grand Jury
Oh my
Award
goodness,
winner.
mind blown.
And we've had filmmakers that have gone on to win Emmys. So, we love independent film, and we love film that has a point of view, and, film that may not necessarily make it on a commercial level, but you never know where those filmmakers will go.
Right.
And the War Dance filmmakers, Sean and Andrea Fine, Andrea came to the film festival and took questions from the audience, and so the folks that were in the room that day had a really valuable chance to get to know a filmmaker and their work.
Right. Wow, that's incredible. I had no idea. That's amazing. All right, so you have a lot of great things happening this year with the film festival. Can you take us through some of the highlights on the schedule?
Sure. One of the things that I'm really excited about is a conversation with Ben Zeitlin. Ben Zeitlin was the director of Beasts of the Southern Wild, which was nominated for an Oscar, won Sundance, and is just this Cinderella story. This is a very young filmmaker, I think he turned 31 a few weeks ago, who just became a phenomenon coming from completely outside Hollywood to really score big in Tinseltown. So he's filming, so we're going to have him by Skype, but he will take questions from the audience, and anybody who has questions can either pose them on Facebook or email them to us at info.alexandriafilm.org.
Okay.
We also have a film called Pied Piper by an Indian filmmaker who was going to be with us, but unfortunately had a death in the family and is not able to be with us. But it's a really inventive film about a very common sort of man who, in a freak accident, acquires the brain of a donkey and becomes a mythic figure in rural India, eventually rising to national fame. So it's a very interesting kind of mythological story that I think people will really enjoy.
Okay.
We have some really great documentaries. A documentary called Dream about the gentleman, Mr. Bainham, who went to an Anacostia school to give a graduation, it was an assembly.
Mm-hmm.
And as he was talking, he started to feel that he wasn't really saying anything that would be very meaningful to these kids who come from the harshest conditions. So in the middle of his speech, he abandoned it and told the kids that anybody who graduated, he would make sure would go to college. And
What?
with his own money.
Wow.
This is the man, Stuart Bainham, who owns Manor Care nursing homes and Quality Inns, and very affluent family. And he did exactly that. So this film catches up with them. These people are in their 40s now. It's 37 years later after he made this amazing commitment.
Wow.
And to see what happened to them and where their lives are going. That film is a short film, but it is maybe made into a feature film.
Okay.
And so several of the dreamers, as they are called, will be with us that day.
Oh, nice.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah, it's really exciting. As part of our free programming, we have ticketed programming and we have free programming at the Beatley Library. There's a wonderful documentary called Into Harm's Way, and it's about the West Point class of 1963. When they entered West Point, we were at peace, and when they graduated, we were in the Vietnam conflict.
Oh, wow.
And it's about these men and how they started out and what happened to them as a result of the war and what happened to them later. And a lot of it's very surprising and very uplifting, and I think has modern day lessons about the guys coming back from Afghanistan. And so I think, several of the men and one woman who was in the film are also going to be with us that day.
Okay.
So again, these are all people that you'll be able to mix it up with and ask questions and
Right.
Give them a hard time if you want. That does happen.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This sounds really exciting. And just, wow. Since I've started the show, like I said, the part of what I want to do is just expose like this local talent. There's so many filmmakers, and this is proof right here that there's so many great films that are out there that unfortunately we don't get to see on the big screen. And as a film critic, I just had Nell Minow on the show, and we were just talking about how 70% of the films that come on the big screen are just horrible versus a documentary like this. It's amazing. So what documentary or narrative film stands out to you that you think will just be challenging for viewers?
Well, two come to mind. There's one called Hearts and Minds, and it's about PTSD, and I think that will really be eye-opening for viewers. On our opening night, we have a film called Capital Food Fight, and it's about the conflict between these food trucks that are so innovative and
Right.
Very popular, and the brick and mortar restaurants that think that that's maybe a loophole that they are taking advantage of. So I don't know that anybody will walk out of that film taking one side or the other, but it does what film sort of does best, especially documentary film, which is reveal different perspectives on this one issue and how innovation and establishment can kind of coexist and where they kind of bump up against each other. So I think that's going to be a really interesting film, which is, again, on our opening night. There's another film called We Are the Owners, which is about the trend of company-owned or employee-owned companies. And how much we're seeing the innovation and the kind of great product delivery that those companies are finding by being owned by their own employees.
Right. Wow. Well, it sounds like a lot of great films are going to be at the Alexandria Film Festival this year. Let our viewers know, where they can find more information, where they can buy tickets.
On our website, alexandriafilm.org. The tickets are $15 if you buy them at the door, but you get a discount if you buy them online. They're $12.
Okay. Awesome. And this starts again Thursday.
Thursday is opening night.
Right.
Sponsored by Mom's Organic Market, one of our wonderful partners. And the whole festival is also sponsored by the Alexandria Office of the Arts. And we have Alexandria Hyundai, which has been one of our sponsors since day one. We're going to be at the Old Town Theater on Thursday night. We're going to be at the Lyceum, which is a historic building in Alexandria. You get the dual excitement of watching films and seeing their museum, if you like. We're also at the the United Way in Alexandria.
Okay.
And the Beatley Library.
Okay, awesome. Well, again, Patti, thanks for coming on the show. I know things have to be busy. This is the week of, you're gearing up to it, but it sounds like it's going to be awesome. I'm going to be there. Great.
We'll look forward to seeing you.
Thanks again for coming on the show. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Kevin.
Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.